I wonder what people think about this idea, but I think to change and shape the world, to make environments a lot better, it might cause conflicts, but you know what? Mature adults are supposed to be sensible, even if they're in disagreement. I'm not saying they have to kiss anyone's ass or agree to disagree, but the whole purpose of discussion, debate, coming from a Jewish background, is always a joke that you get like five Jewish people in a room, there's 17 arguments. But you discuss, you debate, you galvanize, you assess, you evaluate, you deduce, and then you come up with like a vote of what's the best thing. Or critical thinking is your chance to absorb all the information and then weigh up the options. I think every job, if you can afford it, I'm not saying you should limit people because they need to tick boxes, but every job should have a pro this, a pro that, and someone is a middle thinker. So, when you read an article, I read something now about a guy who advocates AI technology to assist people. And that's great. I see the benefits of it. It can help people with like learning difficulties. It's funny that I couldn't say that word when I was trying to say learning difficulties. It can help people who maybe haven't got the time and the energy, people that don't have the resources. But the guy sounded a little bit too positive, almost like he was being endorsed or promoted or paid for it, or he was using the AI technology to defend and promote that technology. So sometimes, I'm fascinated with the human psychology. People tend to take information from people that have a certain way of thinking, a certain way of dealing with things. They could be people that are pro socializing and they're extroverts. I want to see an introvert being a pro-sociable person, or an extrovert being a pro-introverted thing, or an extrovert who's aloof and an introvert who's social. But a lot of times we just get extroverts who are social and introverts who are antisocial, and that's kind of what we base things on: right or wrong, black or white, yes or no. So I think a lot of times we need people that, as long as it's time efficient, we're not spending 6 hours trying to figure out whether we should make something, do something, sign on to something. But I think it helps people make decisions when you've got someone who's like, I'm pro this, but, or I'm anti this, however, and there's someone who's a bit of both. And I think that's how you should hire people, because there's a lot of times where people can make a lot better decisions in life when they've got all the options, as long as it doesn't overwhelm, as long as it doesn't, sometimes we tend to side with things that lean towards our echo chambers and our, what we want to prioritize with, and things that comfort us. But yeah, I just think it will help in certain work environments, life environments. It makes you think, oh, okay, so this is why that is, and they think that way because they're energetic, they're outgoing, they're a little bit more switched on to this thing, but so that's why they think that way. A lot of times life is thought and orchestrated and organized by people that have a linear way of thinking based on their mindsets and their energy levels and the way they've been brought up, and then suddenly that's how life is now sorted out. It's the same with politics. I think this way, or business people, I think this way because I was brought up this way because that's all I know, and suddenly we're living that kind of routine and lifestyle based on one way of thinking. So yeah, that's I don't know how it'll kind of be implemented, but I think that's an interesting kind of thing we could think about.